Talk. I'm Brian Berard. It feels like it's been about 14 years since we last did an episode, but that's because John, in typical fashion, whenever there's something to be done, runs away and had a grand old time in the People's Republic of Syracuse.
The People's Republic of Syracuse. Well, I mean, since I was gone, I got to learn that you can't do math to save your life. So at least I learned something.
Do you feel happy about yourself?
I do.
All right.
I know basic math.
We'll get back to sports here. The New England Patriots took on the Jacksonville Jaguars in Week 2, and unfortunately, the Patriots came out losers in this one and giving them their record of 1-1. So, John, let's look on the offensive side of the ball. Of course, you still have no Julian Edelman. You had a very, I think, dumbed-down offense where you only targeted Gronk twice and 4 times, had 4 receptions. You take a look at the box score right there. Tell me the offensive game plan. Were you a fan of Bill Belichick's offensive game plan?
I think this is kind of that one dumpster fire game that the Patriots have every year or two. You look at that game that they had in Kansas City, the Monday Night Massacre. That was a nightmare. I think this was kind of the same effect. I think this was the true game where the Patriots really missed Julian Edelman. Philip Dorsett, I don't think he's going to be your answer. Cordarrelle Patterson is a freaking nightmare of a football player. I don't think that he should probably have an NFL contract. The fact that he knocked the Patriots out of a situation where they could have been 4th and maybe 2, back to 4th and 5, and they're forced to punt, I think that was a true turning point in the second half of the game for the New England Patriots.
Well, there was an interesting play call to me when it was maybe 4th and 1, 4th and 2, and you sent out the punt team. You drew them offside. No one made contact, so you had to go out there and make the punt. But normally in those situations, you send Tom Brady out there. You're down by 2 touchdowns. You send him out there. Time and time again, he's easily going to get 1 or 2, maybe even 3 yards on a QB sneak. And I found it peculiar that they didn't really go for it there. So I wonder if this was, not a scheduled loss, but they weren't anticipating on giving 100%.
Well, also the offensive line for the Patriots is kind of a patchwork plan. They were letting Tom Brady get hit or pushed around. He was forced to leave the pocket on a lot of plays. So I think this was maybe more about Belichick worrying about the offensive line of the New England Patriots and trying to save his quarterback. Because if he goes for the dive with this offensive line, all you need is one of the big secondary players for the Jaguars to come in on a blitz and try and take off Tom Brady's head. You don't need that in Week 2 of a football season.
Yeah, and I feel like the Patriots tried a little bit too much to get Sony Michel going. I know it was his first NFL action. You want to get the kid's feet wet, but I feel like the Patriots forced a little bit too much to Sony Michel, I think, in certain situations where you're going to try and find Gronkowski, and I think it was a 3rd and 5, and it was a draw play to Sony Michel, and it was kind of weird. That's not normal of Bill Belichick. But let's move on to the defensive side of the ball. Eric Rowe, awful game, benched after the second drive. Jason McCourty had to come in. He wasn't that much better. This defense, this secondary is scary to me, John.
Thank God we have Malcolm Butler.
Oh,
that's awkward. At least he tried in this. Nope. Yeah. So this defense for the Patriots is an abomination, like you said. But the defensive scheme also is what lost the Patriots the game. They had 8 in the box for most of the football game. So if you have your defense trying to blitz on Jacksonville, that allows Blake Bortles, who's a pretty mobile quarterback, to break away for a 9-10 yard gain or get a pass on the numbers, which is what happened a lot in that first half, which is where this Patriots team lost this game.
Yeah, I think to me, when I see the secondary, and of course, I thought the Patriots defense was going to do rather well. I mean, I had both the Patriots defense and the Jaguars defense in my fantasy team. So well, you know what? I don't really respect that Jaguars offense too much. So, and then, of course, the Patriots defense gets me 0 points. Jaguars defense would have got me 9 points. But you sit there and you go, how can Blake Bortles pick you apart? And this defense, year in and year out, makes average quarterbacks look like they're elite. You still had no Leonard Fournette, but you still had TJ Yeldon, who had an amazing game for the Jaguars. Mm-hmm. And you had Keelan Cole, someone who very few people have heard of. Austin Seferian-Jenkins there had a good game. And you're sitting there going, how can a player like Blake Bortles pick you apart? Oh, that's right. Bill Belichick doesn't care about a secondary. He's just going to outscore you. But I think it also goes back to his offensive game plan where they knew they weren't trying 100% to win. They kind of had to steal this one. There was a couple of Jacksonville turnovers, and I think that offense of Jacksonville came down to earth a little bit in that second half. But still, this defense is just it makes me want to shove pencils in my eyes.
Wow, that's a little drastic. But I think maybe one minor storyline here is the fact that this was Jacksonville's first home game of the season, coming off the AFC Championship game lost to the Patriots. I think there was maybe a little extra in the Jacksonville tank. I think this is a Week 9, Week 8 type of game. I think the Patriots maybe hang in there a little more, but heat index of 102. The first game for Jacksonville at home. The Patriots come in with everybody hating them anyways. This was kind of a game where you just had a bad feeling. It's almost like that game I mentioned in Kansas City a couple years ago, where you just had this ugly feeling that something bad was going to happen.
All right, now next week, prime time against Matt Patricia's Detroit Lions. Do you see them picking apart that defense? Because I feel like Matt Patricia has one of the weakest defenses ever. I'm not saying he's a horrible coach, but his defenses are predictable. So what do you think for the Patriots, really quick, in week 3?
I think this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be a 41-33 type of game. I think it's going to kind of be like video game football, where the offense is the one thing that sticks out. And maybe this is the game where we find out a lot about the Patriots defense. If they have a difficult time containing Matthew Stafford, then there's going to be a lot of red flags the following Monday.
Yeah, if Blake Bortles and Keelan Cole can destroy you, imagine what Golden Tate and Matthew Stafford could do with that offense. So thank you for tuning into this Out of Bounds. I know it's been a long time coming, and we're going to do one tomorrow.
We'll see you in 3 weeks.
See you in 3 weeks. But before we go, as a reminder, you can always watch any BTV programming on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/BTV Access, or just search BTV Access in the search bar. So for John Luck, I'm Brian Berard. Thanks for watching Out of Bounds.